We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
You're rolling? Alright. For Mr. Tig, I have something I'm pretty excited to talk about here today. I've been eager to do this episode, everyone, because this is one of my favorite board games. We talked about Axis and Allies in another episode, and this is right up there for me with Axis and Allies. MEMOIR 44. It's put out by Days of Wonder. It's still available, and some of the expansion packs for it, but other stuff you can't.
They're still selling it, but there's certain things you can't get anymore.
That's right.
Okay.
Some aspects of the game have gone out of print. So let me show you how the game works.
Yes, please.
It's pretty cool.
I'm always excited to hear about new games. You want me to keep this? Should we...
I don't know, you can slide it aside for now. Okay, so... No.
No, we're not doing it.
This one. The cool thing about MEMOIR 44, unlike, say, Axis and Allies, Risk, and other games, is that the board is different every time you play. The map is different every time you play. So here's an example. This is the basic game board. It's just blank space. And you can flip, see on the other side,
Is it,
it's a beachfront.
Is it very, like, Catan?
No.
Different, like, every time kind of thing?
No.
Okay.
No. You have the basic board, and with the way the game works is, you play, there's scenarios.
The apocalypse is coming again.
The dogs, good old dogs. You have individual scenarios that get played on the board.
So, okay, so me and you were going to start playing. You have to set it up according to one of the things you choose in the book?
Right, you choose what battle.
You just randomly pick one?
Exactly.
Okay.
And there's also rules so that you can do a full campaign, a series of battles, but we'll get to that. So the way you set up the board is with these. These are just terrain hexes, just terrain tiles, double-sided. So this is a hill on one side, and I think the other side is a hill with a cave system. That's if you're fighting in the Pacific. You know, there's jungle tiles, there's desert tiles for the desert board, rivers, bunkers, and bridges. So you drop the bunkers down where they need to go,
and
bridges over rivers.
You're putting these in the corresponding...
Right. So you...
And you fill up the whole thing?
Just where these need to go.
Right, where it says in the book.
Right,
Okay.
exactly. So then you build out whatever the particular
Cool.
battlefield might be.
Wait, what the... I don't want to lose those on you.
No, you can't. I mean, the game does not come in these like organizing things. I'm just like that. I like organizing all stuff
That's
like
the
this.
most fun part of the game.
It is, yeah, it totally is. And once you set up the terrain, then you've got, come on, games with little plastic army dudes are always the best. So you got all your little plastic army guys. Sandbags, you got your cool ass tanks, you got your soldiers, there's artillery, there's some planes. So this is mostly a land-based game. Cool thing that I like about this, which is much different than Axis and Allies and Risk and some other games, is you can play out a battle in under half an hour.
Oh, really?
Easy.
Like a whole game?
Whole game.
Oh, okay.
Whole game, like some quick games, 20 minutes. These games are more, they're individual battles as opposed to the grand scale of something like Axis and Allies. So, it's meant to be smaller. Each individual little piece, rather than representing thousands and thousands of guys, might represent just a little squad or something like that. So the way the game works is you'll have your guys in different spaces. Each side has these cards that are hidden from one another.
Ooh.
So I'll have, depending on the scenario, let's say I'll have 5 cards. You'll have 5 cards. And each turn, when it's your turn, you say which card you're going to play. And the card just says something like this one, attack, order 3 units. And you can see based on the card, it's order 3 units in the middle section.
Okay.
And you can see on the board...
Oh, and there's the dotted lines on the...
So the board is...
Shantae! I don't know if you can see, but...
Yeah, see, it's like divided into thirds, right?
Yeah.
So then you have 3 units in the middle, and
Okay. You can put them where you want on your...
Well, they start off in a predetermined spot, but then you can direct them as you want. And then you just go back and forth with the cards. You use a card, you draw a new one. You use a card, you draw a new one.
There's no dice?
There are dice. That's how you resolve the battles.
Okay.
The thing that directs like what you can do are the cards.
Okay.
It's super easy to learn. You can teach someone how to play this game in like 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah, it seems a lot less structured than Axis and Allies. And
There's a lot less to it in that respect. Like, you don't have to absorb a lot of rules all at once. That's one of the things I really like about this game. It feels like a pretty good in-depth strategy game, but you can learn it super fast. What's cool about MEMOIR 44 and this game system in general, because this game system, it's something called Command and Colors.
Okay.
They actually use the same rule system for several other games. once you've learned this game, you can play several other games because you already know the basics.
So they make like a fantasy version and a
Yeah, there's a
Okay.
fantasy version, there's a Civil War version, there's a Napoleonic Wars version, there's an ancient version with like the ancient Greeks and that sort of thing. And once you learn the rule system, you know all these other
That's
games.
pretty cool.
Each of the other games has unique twists.
Right,
that-
of course.
that-
Different cards and stuff like that.
different cards and like slightly different tweaks, but you know the basics,
Right.
right? The other thing that I really like about this is that this game is modular. So what we showed you here, like the board and the cards and the units, that's the basic game. Stripped down, right? You've got maybe 50 different battles you can do, but then you start getting these. And these are just a series of expansions that came out for the game. For instance, this is the Eastern Front. And the Eastern Front, can you guess what the Eastern Front does, Tig?
It's the underworld of
No! The Eastern Front gives you the Russian army. You get Russian army pieces. You get the rules, special rules for the Eastern Front. This is they come like this, the expansions, right? So stuff would be in here, and these, but I always reorganize all my stuff into. This is the Pacific Theater. Tig, what do you think the Pacific Theater adds?
it takes place in the Indian Ocean.
So close. So right, so you get the Japanese army, you get scenarios like Guadalcanal, and again, each time you get these sets, there's new rules added that add complexity to the game. This is the Mediterranean Theater pack. All the battles with Rommel and all that stuff in the Northern Desert. And if you want to get nuts with the Mediterranean Theater and the Eastern Front packs, you can get a board
Oh,
that is either the desert or on the other side, the snow.
oh, that's pretty cool.
And there are snow and desert tiles so that it looks,
Yeah, if it's
and you don't really need this, it's purely an aesthetic
right,
thing, but
it helps when you're playing a game.
yeah, to me it makes it more fun to,
Right.
like when you're doing snow battles. And the thing is, I play this game a lot with my son, and the scenarios that we'll do depend on the time
Time
of
of year, yeah.
Like when it's winter, we're doing the Battle of the
That's cool,
Bulge or
man.
the Russian Army. This is one of my favorite packs, but almost sort of because of the nerdy aspect of it. This is a terrain pack. It doesn't add any new armies or something like that. The box was just filled with tiles to make new types of stuff. There's like train tracks, dams, there's train depots, there's just all sorts of stuff so you can have more advanced scenarios. And again, like everything else, it adds new rules so that like the basics get more and more complex every time you add
Right.
stuff on it. Operation Overlord, this is, for big giant battles. Every time you add stuff, and then there's even, more packs and get to them. Every time you add stuff, the game becomes more and more
Complicated.
complex. So you can learn it in 5 minutes, but for advanced players, it can actually turn into a pretty in-depth game.
Does the game last longer?
So there's different ways to play Memoir 44. The basics are one board, but Operation Overlord is another way to play it, where you take this board and a second board side by side, and you have a double length board, and it's just this whole more involved set of rules where it's like, obviously the battles are much bigger.
Right.
You can actually have 3-on-3, so there's 3 people on each side playing. That's what Operation Overlord is. And so anyway, yes, the game gets longer as you add more.
How many people can you play?
In Operation Overlord, the way it works is you can have like up to 3 people who are like your frontline generals controlling the troops, and then the main general, you're the one who gets all the cards, and you dish the cards out to your guys, and you're like, these are your orders, do as you see fit with them.
That's pretty interesting.
It's kind of it's an interesting way to play the game. And
They could cause a lot of infighting.
yeah. And
Which makes it fun.
This was a series of battle maps that they did. Sword of Stalingrad,
Huh.
and Tigers in the Snow, and my favorite, the Operation Market Garden map. And so, what? Oh, that's sealed. I think I must have bought that twice.
He bought two
I
of
think I
them.
must have bought 2 of those. All right, so
I would just out of curiosity, was it?
I don't know.
He forgot he had it.
I did, yeah, seriously. All right, so let's look at this one. Sword of Stalingrad.
Sword of Stalingrad.
These are giant, really giant, pre-set up maps.
Please.
So
Oh my god.
that's your game board. Look at that.
Wow.
Like when you got these, it would come glued to the front, exclusive units, like pieces that added.
Oh,
Again, they
okay.
add new rules. Like
Right.
one of them came with like half tracks. And
Oh,
another
okay.
one came with like anti-tank units. They just come with guys that were unique to this, so that you can add new pieces to your game, and they have new rules that are, again, add more
Right.
complexity and stuff to the game.
That's pretty cool. Did you have to order those online? Could you go to the store and buy that? Because this seems very weird for you to walk into a game store and find this.
Only in specialty stores, like
Okay.
specialty game stores. The main one that's gone out of print that now goes for good money is the Air Pack. You usually have to pay a pretty decent amount of money for this. The best reason to get the Air Pack is actually the rule book. And the reason is because the rule book combines every single scenario that had been printed in the game up to this point, including all the scenarios from previous expansion packs, and some scenarios that were only published before, like online only or for tournaments and stuff only, and just combines them all into the book.
So it's worth buying it just to have the book.
I think so. They had done a pair of these, which are campaign books, nice hardcover campaign books.
Jeez.
They're packed with new scenarios, but the way these do it is that the scenarios are all like tied together, so that you do one after another. So it's like, if so-and-so wins this, then you move there, but if the other person wins, then you move on to this other
Oh,
battle.
so you would use these while you're playing the game.
Right, and you go through the series of battles, and depending on how you win, you get more stuff for the next battle or less stuff or whatever. But it enables you to have a more epic, ongoing campaign. There were exclusive campaigns that they put out that you got as like mail order bonuses, right? So this one is just the French Resistance, and it's like the series of campaigns of the
Wow, so
French
you would-
Resistance. Wait, where's my box? Oh, duh, I forgot stuff.
Forgot this box! There's more.
I forgot. Can't believe I forgot stuff. It's my favorite one, Winter Wars. They could have called it like the Battle of the Bulge in a box.
Okay.
All the scenarios are based around the Battle of the Bulge. It comes with this cool supplemental deck that adds like new abilities and rules to the game. And then there was this really cool, the equipment pack.
Oh,
And you look at that's what.
oh my god.
It's just like cool stuff. And the equipment pack came with like tons of scenarios that give you new battles to use all this cool, because you just got all this cool new stuff. You want to be able to use it, right? Like I said, it's great because it's super easy to learn. It's still available. It's a great game. And I like that the game is only as complex as you want it to be.
Right.
If you really start stacking like all these add-ons and stuff like that and extended rules, and there's like additional decks that you can add, hardcore war gamers would look at this and be like, come on, dude, don't exaggerate.
Right.
But for the average gamer, yeah, I mean, you can make it so that it's a pretty in-depth game. And even though there's cards, it's not a card game.
Okay.
It's all about dice and moving your plastic units and stuff like that. The cards are strictly what dictate to you like where you can move and where you can't move. And if you go online, most of the battles, like even if you only buy the basic game,
Oh, you can find them online, all the... of course.
on the Memoir 44 website, all the scenarios are on there, so you can download them and print them out. As you can see, I've like printed scenarios like there's the Battle of Hong Kong, the Battle of Warsaw. The game attracted a lot of really hardcore like World War II geeks.
Yeah.
So there's unofficial custom scenarios. So you name a battle, any battle in World War II, you can. There are literally hundreds of battles that you can
That's pretty
do.
cool.
So it's pretty cool. Memoir 44, I dig the shit out of it, and we should play it sometime. Look at all this! Look at all this stuff! I love Memoir 44. I think it's a pretty unappreciated game.
Memoir 44!
Memoir 44!
Now!
This game is rad. I didn't even get to like the breakthrough version. These, with these.
What's that? Show us.
Really?
Yeah!
So this is breakthrough.
Breakthrough.
This is my favorite variant on the game, and you can see it comes with these boards that I don't want to take out, but
Oh boy. Why don't you want to take them out?
just because they're cumbersome and it's a big hassle.
Okay.
But it comes like this, and you get a couple of like boards, maps. But these boards are situated different. They go deep instead of long.
Oh, okay. Yeah, instead of it going long like you were saying, but decided.
Right. These are the ones that take longer.
Okay.
Because you actually have to traverse the board, and there's movement, and I feel like there's a lot more strategic possibilities.
Right.
With this. So when you add like the breakthrough version to some expansions and stuff like that, that's when you can be having a battle that goes for an hour plus.
Leave the beaches of Normandy for the dunes of... Oh, Jesus.
I dig Memoir
I like
44.
it. I'm sold.
All right, yeah. So let's play. We're done because we're gonna play a game now.
I'm gonna play right here.
All right. Cool. I can't believe my stuff dropped.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.